I'm going to show you an assortment of gimmicks that Vessel, a Japanese manufacturer, puts on Japanese driver bits. These are JDM, Japanese Domestic Market. We don't find these in the United States. Vessel does have a product line in the United States. Okay, this is an example of a Vessel product that is sold into the United States market. You can see that it has the E6 anvil that fits into this USA Makita with the regular chuck that we all know. This product is a JDM Makita Impact. It's made in Japan. This one is made in China. This one has a different receiver chuck. This one can receive these double-ended bits and the 13mm anvil. A double-ended bit fits into this JDM Makita and locks. The double-ended bit does not fit into the Makita that is made for the US market. To use these bits in the United States, you really have to get a JDM power tool, or you would have to put the bits in a drill chuck. The 13mm anvil accidentally fits in products like the Weha Central Fix that it wasn't designed for, the Philo handle. The 13mm anvil fits in a wrap adapter, but the double-ended bits do not fit in a wrap adapter. The wrap adapter does not receive these. The dimensions are not correct. Central Fix. This one fits okay because the size of the hex goes all the way down. So if I grab a bit like this that has some reduced machining here, the Central Fix will grab onto it, but it's really wobbly. And that wobble is even worse when you get into a slender bit like this. The Philo Smart Handle does a pretty good job with all of these because it's so deep and the BB is so close to the outer edge of this. So even, this slender bit on this detent, of course, right there doesn't work. You just have to push it all the way down. These bits are usable in the Philo Smart Handle with a minimum amount of wobble. It's not too bad. But of course, these bits are made for impacts, high RPM, high torque, not made for these applications. Just showing you that for the sake of curiosity. Some of these gimmicks have more value, some have less value. This video is more of an exploration of a product line that we don't get to see here in the United States. But it's interesting, so let's take a look. Inside the Vessel General Catalog, we have a rundown of different gimmicks. Now, I'm not using the word gimmick in a derogatory sense. I'm using the word gimmick in a more literal sense. So the first gimmick is the Magnum Bit. The Magnum Bit is an unconventional bit with reinforced ribs. The Magnum rib reinforcing doesn't actually go into the head of the screw. It sits just on top of the surface of the screw. Well, it jumped out there. The Giza, it's a jagged tip that prevents cam out. Trying to improve strength, they're trying to reduce cam out, and they're trying to reduce the throw out force. And I think it actually reams out the head of the screw more easily and requires a little more downforce to keep the bit in there so that it doesn't ream, because as soon as the bit jumps, those features act like a cutting tool and messes up the screw even faster. To me, it feels like there's actually more of a tendency for the bit to want to eject. Maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to tell. That's really subjective. Seemed to work okay. Got a different style of Japanese screw here. Okay, it does not like that. Okay, the Giza bit does not like those screws. And here you can see the Giza bit, after just a little bit of use. Extra hard bits are really just 62 Rockwell hardness. That 62 Rockwell hardness is a feature that they put across different examples, across different product lines. The tapping bits is another gimmick where they're trying to thicken things where they think it makes sense so that it doesn't prematurely wear out the tip when you're doing metal tapping screw applications over and over. I struggle to see the difference, but I'm going to take their word for it. There's a difference. It's just that it's so small, I probably just can't see it. It feels good, like there's really good positive engagement. These screws are not Japanese. These are my screws that I bought, I don't know, somewhere. Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, one of those places. These are going in very nicely with this bit. Make sure that doesn't go through my studio. I don't know. That's pretty good. Okay, here is the wear on that bit. There was more done with it than is shown on the video, but definitely less than 100 screws. Another gimmick that they do is slender, where they machine down a size 2 tip to a small diameter. The amount of the bit that fits in the screw is still the same, so that you get better visibility, or you can sink the head of a bit in more and the bit doesn't get stuck in wood, that kind of thing. So the last gimmick is jaws. So this is a machining on the fillet, not on the fin. So it's supposed to make the bit a little more sticky inside the fastener so that there's less throw out and less reaming. You can see what they've done to the fillet here, putting the ribs in there. Let's try jaws. Okay, now let's get, the same size as the other one. Okay. Okay, that doesn't like that. Let's try the Pro-Con Slender. Definitely that one is best so far. Yep. Definitely that screw wants lots of downforce. These screws, I'm applying minimal downforce on these screws, but for these, lots of downforce. Let's try the tapping bit just to see if there's a difference. So this is the tapping bit. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. Yeah, well, this is not the application that they intended this for, but it definitely is working best. So, oh, did it break? No, it didn't break. I don't know. Ooh, hot. So this one, these two are the best so far, especially for these Japanese screws. And then this is a look at a jaws bit after a pretty minimal amount of use. On the packaging of the jaws fit, it says new jaws fit. Curiously enough, on this, they also say new jaws fit. But we can see that this machining is actually more like the Giza. The other gimmicks that they have are not located at the tip of the bit. Along the shaft, the Ultra Hex, the cushion ring, which takes out play, I'll show you that, and the plastic spring, which I kind of like this plastic spring feature. The plastic spring takes out play. It takes out the sloppiness in the chuck. It's still, you know, it's still spongy, but at least it's not just totally sloppy. And then it gives you a little bit of eject force to improve your workflow if you're switching the bits a lot. You just pull the collet forward and it slightly ejects the bit past that detent and you can just remove the bit easily. Just a side note, this Magnum bit with the plastic spring, this is the bit that I leave in this driver all the time. This is the gimmick combination that I like the best, for whatever that's worth. So the example of the cushion ring that I have is with these drill bits. And it does take out some of the sloppiness. So here's the cushion ring, the Japanese bit without the cushion ring. Okay, so there's more sloppiness in that. I think that gimmick has some value. Now we come to the Ultra Hex gimmick. This is intended to give extra grip inside the chuck of a drill. So what they did is on 3 sides of the hex, they machined a groove that matches the contours hidden on the inside of a chuck. So this is the Milwaukee chuck. It fits pretty good. It doesn't seem like a perfect fit of the machining. It seems a little hit and miss to me, but it's an interesting idea. For me, it's a low value gimmick. So that was a continuation of my deep dive into the Vessel product line. I hope that that was an interesting look at the Vessel product line and the various gimmicks that they put on their driver bits. I realize this is a very niche topic and has very limited value potentially for a lot of people, but I know that there are JDM tool collectors in the crowd who also will very much appreciate a close-up look at these different gimmicks. I hope that was interesting and helpful, and thank you for watching.